Hello. Okay, so just wait to see if there's a few people pop in, and we'll do a sound check. Hello. Okay, so just wait to see if there's a few people pop in, and we'll do a sound check. Right, so not sure if this is working. I seem to have frozen up on my system, just double checking what's going on. If there's anyone here, be nice if you could just in the chat say something, just so I know you're here. Right, so what's time? 2 o'clock. Right, okay, so let's get started. Lovely. Thank you, Centroid Aerial Images. Very nice of you to let me know that you can hear me. Right, okay, so let's get that bit, but that's it. Right, so what are we doing here? So I bought a Wiral lite cable cam system. Why did I buy it? Because of some, as you know, you can't fly your drone in areas that are in built up areas. So I bought this thing, the Wiral lite, for able to basically run a cable cam system. Camera goes on a button, and I'll show you exactly my setup in a moment. And basically this runs along a cable. So this is able to get, this is able to get shots that you can't get from a drone. So I had a problem with it. Okay, it's a great system. It's fabulous. And one of the flaws that comes with this is the cable that it comes with. It's a really kind of unique sort of cable. It's really thin. It's got a really nice plastic coating on the outside. It's 1.75 millimeters thick. So trying to find a replacement for it, not easy. And it's a special sort of like rope, really. People in the Wiral community group on Facebook suggested paracord. I had a really good look at paracord to replace it with if you needed to replace it, and basically at the end of the day that stretches. So not a great idea to be able to use that. So what it is basically got, there we go, I don't know where we can focus on that, but it's basically a really strong rope entwined, twisted lots and lots of times, and then a plastic outer coating on it. Well, the Wiral lite comes with a control box such as this, and it's quite handy. It's what it does is you've got a mode switch that makes it go, when you turn the knob one way, it will go along at a certain speed, nice and slow. Okay, and then you've got press mode again, and then it basically goes about 4 times as fast, so it can really whip along. So if you're trying to watch someone on push bike, mountain biking, you're going up and down through trees, and you're going up and down a high mountain sort of stuff that you want to chase a cyclist, you can get on with it with that. Okay, however, one good thing about the ends of, obviously it's going to be tied up one end of a tree and another end of a tree, and basically what happens is you can tell it to stop at the ends. So you've got these end stops. So what you do is you take the Wiralcam to the end of the rope and you press that and you hold it, and it registers the end of where you want it to stop. Okay, so it's an electronic stop. Take it to the other end, press that one, and then it memorises how far it's travelled and where the stop is. Okay. Now, failing in electronic stops not stopping the thing. If you want to pipe in and type in there and ask questions while I'm chatting, feel free to do so. You've got these things, physical end stops. You've got these things, physical end stops. Okay. Now what happens is they end up going on the cable like so. Now this has happened to a few people in the Facebook group. You basically put them on there, and then if the electronic stops don't stop the thing, they're supposed to. And what it does, it actually knocks the wheel off the rope, if you see what I mean. Yeah, so it knocks the wheel off the rope, and when it does that, it somehow knows it. I don't quite know how it knows that. Okay, so interesting, old school Hollywood stuff in the palm of your hand. Good concept of subbing out the drone. Yeah, if you can't use the drone, Centroid, then this is the answer. This is why I bought it. If I'm honest, this is why I bought it. So, and how much was the unit? Okay, I paid about £300, so you're looking at about $360, $380, or about 700 Australian dollars. So it's around about that figure. It's a Kickstarter project, and they're gradually phasing them out. So the end stop does its job, knocks it off, stops it, actually stops the unit from running into the tree or whatever it is that you've got, or what you've actually got it going towards. So it could be a building or something, so you don't really want it running a concrete building at the end of it. I've got a job next month using it in the gym, where I'm going to be flying over to people as they're doing their workouts and stuff. Okay, and they want to use it for promotion videos, so there's no way I could take a drone in there and do it. So that is going to be one of the reasons that I've got that. So getting on to one of the reasons. So we've had a quick look at what it's keep in mind, customs and import duty. Absolutely there, Casper, absolutely, definitely. So then looking at the rope now, anybody that's got one of these, they know what it is, they know what it feels like. They know it's really, 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 really light, and doesn't stretch a great deal once you pulled it tight. So it's perfect, but there is a flaw. If that cable cam hits that plastic, what ends up happening is this. It shreds it. So there's a major flaw. So this happened on my second outing. Now, why did it hit the plastic? Okay, for some unknown reason, it's a static camera, Centroid. It's a static camera on a gimbal. So there's no camera on it. It doesn't come with a camera. Okay, I'll go into it in a moment, what I use on the bottom of it, and I'll show you how it works. But that's how it basically comes. It's just a motor that will travel something along it. So you can use whatever you like. I've got several different options which I use with it, but there is one option I use all the time with it now. And I'll show you what that is in a moment. So I want to talk about this because this is a big thing that's happening in the Facebook group. There's a lot of chat, and this seems to be happening quite a lot to the guys. This is not just me. This is not something that has just happened to me. There's a few people in there that have done it. So I was advised to buy some paracord. I looked into it, looked at a few other bits and pieces. That's not going to work. It's nice and cheap, but it is going to stretch over time, and you're going to lose all the grip with it. It's not going to really happen. So next thing was Dyneema. Now Dyneema rope is extremely strong. It's the kind of stuff that you go mountaineering with, so you don't fall off the cliff and die, so to speak. So basically, Dyneema rope is mega expensive, like mega expensive. Well, if you want to save your life, you kind of spend that money. But for me, not on a cable cam system. So I'll come up with something else and had a really good look at it, and I've had to replace this. Now, this will do as the secondary, because when you're flying over people with it, you've still got to have you've got to have some sort of public liability insurance as well. But should the cable snap that's running on, you need a secondary unit. So like something tied around it with a little thing on another cable running along the top. So should the one that this is running on snap, this one's going to stop it from falling on the crowd. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to do if you're thinking of buying one of these, is to make sure you run a secondary cable. What this will do for that, I can now use this for the secondary cable because it is quite strong still. Now, what I tried to do originally was I tried to bind the rope up and twisted it really short, so it was really tight, and then I super glued it. Then I put some rubber heat shrink over the top of it to try and do that. But the only problem is there is a, I'll show you this in a minute. I don't want to show it yet because I want to show you what I've replaced. I've got it all wound around it. And basically what it is this then doesn't fit through a slot on the winding mechanism. So I tried insulating tape. I tried everything. So basically at the end of the day, this is now junk. And something that could commonly happen. So this is a major con to the system. It's a major downfall of this actual system. Other than that, I think the system's really good. I don't think there are many other cons. There's another con, which is if it's too windy, it's too light, it does tend to blow a little bit. So if you're doing an outside shoot, you are going to desperately need a gimbal of some sort instead of a fixed camera, because you are going to get swaying movements when the camera's recording and running along the line. So I've had to bin it. Basically, it's gone. So what have I replaced it with? Well, it's a damn sight heavier, that's for sure. So first of all, let me show you what I was on about. Now, I've got 88 meters of 2mm chain rope. Now, why 88 meters? Because that's all they had in the shop. I wanted 100, but all they had in the shop was 88. I paid twice as much as what you get it online, but I got it instantly. Now, see that there, where that's gone through. That's the problem I had when I was trying to put heat shrink and other sort of rubbers around it, that it wouldn't slot through that hole. Okay, so you go, right, so there's another option. What can you do now? Okay, you can get a file, you can make the hole bigger. Okay, but it comes a point where you're going to start making that weak, and this is really fundamental to how this works. So if it's going to stay, if you're going to fold that down and make that weak, when the cable is out, basically you try to make it so that the cable goes this way. So on the end of this and on the black rope, that was tied around there, so they made a nice slip knot, and the tighter you pulled it, the tighter the slip knot happened. So it was great, worked a treat. Can't really do that with cable, with this steel meat rope. So what is it? It's 2mm rope chain. Okay, it's not very dear. It cost me 42p per meter. Okay, so then you have to get these clamps, make a loop, put that on there. That then, let's just pop this off. This pops off quite nicely, like that. Pops off and unwinds as you're bringing it down. You can pull that and it unwinds. Okay, like so. You see, so it feeds through there really nicely. Now, what happens when you feed that through there is this end will then go around the tree trunk or pole or whatever it is you're attaching it to, and you just quite simply make a loop. So if we was to use my finger, bring that round, clip it on, and that makes your loop. So then you're pulling tight. There you go, excuse me, hand, and pulls tight. Okay, so I've now got a nice secure on that side. I can go to the other end of where I want to go, and I can set up the other end of the cable. Once I get up the other end of the cable, I'm then going to put it tight, which I then do by clamping that on like this. So it's a bit saggy at this point, and I then clamp it on. I then get another ratchet strap, which you get with the wheel light, which you go around the tree, clamp into that hole there. The whole thing hangs like that. You turn it so it faces that way, and the cable runs that way. This is why you don't want to be shaving this down and making it weak. So then the cable's pulling this way, okay? And you can pull it really tight, get it nice and stretched. Now, for me, I thought this was the perfect answer, and I still do. I still do think it's the perfect answer, because I'm not going to get stretched. If I am, it's going to be really minimal. The amount of tension that I'm going to put on it is not a huge amount, so I'm not going to fray. I'm not going to put anywhere near the pressure that this is going to take. Plus, the Wiral is quite light. Now, I don't know how much it weighs. Probably about 300 grams, 200 grams, something like along those lines. Okay. So I posted in the Wiral group last night that I'd found this fix, and some people were saying it's not coated, and the steel's going to end up running the motor away. So I went out yesterday afternoon, and I went out this morning, and I set it up, and I ran it backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, more times than you can imagine on a test. Because if it's going to knacker it, I don't want to use it, do I? So I ended up running backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And I got bored in the end. So then I took it off. I had the camera system all set up with the weight that I would usually run it on. I had the system all run up. And I had a look at the Wiral. And how it works is this bit here pulls out. Okay. Clamps onto the cable, like so. Let's have a demo, shall we? Should we do a demo? Do a live demo with it, like this. Right, so you pop that in there like that. That runs up. That's then clamped onto the other side. That's then caught onto that. That then runs onto there like that. And the thing runs up and down the cable like that. Okay. So these are the runners, and the middle one is your motor. Okay, so it basically just runs up and down. So, and if it falls off, and this is what, if it hits those end stops, it does this and knocks off. Somehow it knows that that's happened. I don't quite know, huh? Quite clever though. So, as you can see, inside here is the runner of the motor. Right, let's see if we can get a good close up of that. Not really, can't really see in there. Right, but that basically sits in the runner, in the motor, under there. Okay, so because that does that, hang on, let's improvise here. There you go. You see that? So that sits on that runner, in there. Got it? And goes backwards and forwards. There we go. We improvised. Technical issues there again. Right, okay, so basically that's how it works. So I ran it backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, thinking, okay, these guys might have a point here that it's gonna ruin the motor. Well, I've had a good look. I've had a torch down it, I've had an LED torch down it, I've had a right good look in there, and I've had it running smoothly while it's been running. Okay. There is no damage to that in there whatsoever. And the amount of times that I ran that up and down that wire today, I would not be using it like that on a job. Okay, so it's going to suffice. So if anybody else is having a shredded cable problem, 2mm rope chain will do the job. Now it does feel rough. You can feel that it's like, you know, it's but I can't see any damage. Now I must have run it 100 times, up and down, up and down, up and down. Nothing with the weight of the camera. Now, if you're going to put something really heavy on the bottom, this can take up to 1.5 kilos of camera or gimbal or anything. So you can add onto it whatever you want. So if you've got yourself, I don't know, an A7, you might fabulous piece of kit, and you want to hang that from it, you're going to be putting about 700, 800 kilos, grams, sorry, hanging on the bottom of it, plus this. So then you're going to start putting that wire under a bit of stress. Okay. Now, the way that I've seen this mess up on the end stops and whack into the tree, I'm not wanting to put £3,000 hanging underneath the bottom of that. Okay. I'm not up for that. I don't think that £3,000 is going to be a good option to put underneath that in case something goes wrong. So what do I use? Well, first of all, with the cable cam system, you get a bracket, not that bottom bit, just the top bit there, and that screws on to there, like so. Okay, now you can, that's simply got a 1/4 thread on that. Okay, let's do it up. Let's take it all apart. Let's take it. I've done it up really tight, so I can't. Right, so that's basically a 1/4 thread, and the reason they give you that bit with it is because this bit you can turn, twist, do what you want with. You can get the angle that you need to get with it. Okay, so it will twist, does what it wants. Okay, and you get that with the Wiral. Okay, so basically I just have it nice and flat for storing and for doing my thing, because I use on the bottom of this, which is perfect, Osmo Pocket, 116 grams, plus the bracket, plus the Wi-Fi module. Okay, so Osmo Pocket is what I use on this. So then that gets put into there like so. Like that. Obviously you put your screw in there to bracket on. So now, to answer your question, Centroid, if you're still there, that's what I use. So the gimbal runs along. I can turn this in any direction I want. If I want it down, I can tilt it down. If I want it up, I can tilt it up. I can have it flat. So the cable cam system, now that's hardly made any difference. Maybe 130 grams to that. So that is running really light along that metal cable. So that's why I'm probably not going to get any damage on it. Okay. So therefore, running the pocket, the Osmo Pocket on there, is probably why that's not causing any damage. So the next thing comes to batteries. Okay, so what have I done about batteries? Well, you get an original battery with the Wiral light. Okay, which is there. Okay, you get the original battery with it. Okay, and the original battery is 1500, I think it is. Yeah, it's a 1500 milliamp battery, 3-cell, and it's basically got a built-in. It's basically got a built-in cell charger built into it, so to protect it. Okay, it's actually got that in there to actually protect it. So all you need is the charger that comes with it to charge them up. Okay, just 1 second. Right, sorry about that. I had somebody typing in abusive comments. So just had to end them. Absolutely no need for what they were saying there. Absolutely none whatsoever. So basically, that's then banned, barred, deleted. and also report it to YouTube. They will not be able to comment on my channels again. Okay, no need for that. Anyway, going back to this 3-cell battery built into it. Okay, so you've got the charger inside. So unlike a normal balance charger, this has got one built into it to protect it inside. So you just need to charge. Now the only problem with that is LiPo batteries need storing at 50%. One, to make them safe, and two, so that you can condition them. You can't condition this battery. Okay, so basically all you've got to do with this, okay, is use it, for me, as a spare. I will take it as a spare. Now that is a 1500 3-cell. Okay, I bought this one, spare one. Now as you can see, this has got 3-cell balance charging lead on it, and this one has got the XT30 plugs on it. It didn't have. I had to buy them and solder them on. So basically I'll cut off the connector on them, resoldered on this, and with this one, your 3-cell. So I can now balance these. Now these are still 11.1 volt, but they're only 1000s, and the reason for that is because there isn't a lot of room inside the bottom in the back of the Wiral. So basically they go in there quite nicely. As you can see, they sit flush. Okay, but they are a little bit less in thing. But having said that, we will say that the standard battery that comes with it will last at 3 hours use. So 1000 is technically going to last 2 hours. So for £10, I bought 2 of those. Okay, so I bought 2 of those for £10 each. So 20 quid, I've got myself 3 batteries. Technically 7 hours of use. Can't see me ever needing that. And if I do, all I've got to do is take my balance charger with me if I think I'm going to run out. And basically, at the end of the day, I've then got to charge up, start again. So never going to need more than that. So there we go with the Wiral. So as you can see, the cable system that I bought does work. The Wiral Lite does work with the Pocket Osmo. Perfect piece of kit, just to hang there. Change it, do what you like with it, and then you've got gimbal. The reason I've got the Wi-Fi module on the bottom of the Pocket Osmo is because when it's connected to my phone, it's whizzing along the line. I can then control the gimbal movement, and I can get what I want. So active track is really good. Literally draw a square around it. If you've got a DJI drone, you'll know what it is. Active track, just draw a square, send the Wiral off, and it will just turns. Makes your life easy. So the Wi-Fi module, I got the extension pack with that, which was £99. So you get this bracket and the Wi-Fi module and the wheel that goes onto the front of the Osmo there. So you get the wheel. So that's my Wiral cable cam system set up, and that's my fix for it. Okay, so the fix is basically the cable. You know, get yourself 100 meters of it. You ain't dear. It's quite heavy though, and it doesn't go in the box that it comes with. Okay, so it doesn't go in that. Does wind up nice and easy with it though. So there isn't an issue with turning it or anything. It does wind up quite nicely. So if anybody else gets a problem with the shredding of the cable, 2mm rope chain. That's the answer. Okay, I'm going to end this broadcast now, and thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again. All the best. Cheerio.